I deny you found me still inside. I'm here now. I'm here now. I'm here.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome once again to Chikara's Podcast-A-Go-Go, your weekly home for Chikara's brand of pro wrestling. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Gavin Loudspeaker. Today we're going to be taking a look at one Kevin Condron, Mr. Controversy around the Chikara locker room. Lately, he has been using loopholes in the rules to his advantages, even going so far as to get a win over Eddie Kingston. And this was at the expense of our very own Chikara officials. Now, we can't have the integrity of our officials compromised, okay? This compromises our officials, this compromises our promotion, this compromises the entire sport of lucha libre. One person who's not having it is Dasher Hatfield. At an event we had in North Carolina called Out on a Limb, Dasher took Kevin Condron to the learning tree.
We're off and running. Mike Wagner, the Chikara, here. I'm calling this one for you. I put this one together myself with very specific purpose in mind.
I don't have a red wrench on me.
Check him one more time, please.
Again?
Please, one more.
Dasher Hatfield, Kevin Condron. You hear suddenly he's Killer Kevin Condron. Have you ever heard anyone call him that other than himself?
Well, Mike, I'll say this. I try to do my due diligence as a broadcast journalist to know as much about the competitors as I can, and I did some snooping, talking to some of the trainees at the Wrestle Factory, and they don't call him Killer there. They call him Snowflake there. And again, I didn't ask why, and I said, has anyone ever there called him Killer? And I said one time he did squish a fly that had flown in, and he cried for 20 minutes about it.
Well, he's done a great job making up a nickname for himself. He's done a great job trying to surround himself with controversy. Let's see how effective you can be in there against a veteran like Dasher Hatfield, especially a guy who always goes to the ring with sportsmanship as an ideal he holds highly. Competition is really what the match is about, and nothing more than no personal matter here, like he had with Eddie Kingston back at A New Start. Let's see how Kevin Condron does.
Oh, you see this about the hair. You know, I mentioned I try to do my due diligence. As a broadcast journalist, you hear him talking about his hair. He informed me that he's changed stylists since the last time he's competed here in Chikara. Christopher Wolf is his new stylist, who has christened him the man with the quaff of a new generation.
Quaff of a new generation.
I would worry about moves in the ring. I would worry about stringing together more victories than a stolen victory over Eddie Kingston. I'm like, what is he doing here?
I'll tell you what this is. This reminds me of another Rudo from Chikara past who used to pull some very similar shenanigans. And just it's a technique to irritate your opponent, plain and simple.
Well, you're right. Again, his goal, one would think of this, is to try to throw Dasher off his game, trying to upset him.
Handful of the laces of the mask there. And yeah, I've seen these exact type of tactics. It's
You know me very well. If I was gonna hit the ball, I'm not.
He's trying to exploit the referee's blind spot.
And no blind spot there. Open hand right across that 5 o'clock shadow that I took about 3 weeks to grow. Kevin Condron.
Wow, deep arm drags. That's a Dasher Hatfield trademark. Off to the ropes he goes, quick as can be. He's got him. La Cazadora, as it's known. And he just got all tangled up in the bottom rope there to Kevin Condron. The quaff of a new generation has never looked so rough. And you better look out, because Dasher Hatfield's going to bring a baseball slide to you. Oh, Condron, very clever there.
He was ready for it. Again, listen, while you put this match together at the last minute, one has to think that Condron has been studying everyone in Chikara. You know, he points to a time specifically at King of Trios, where some of his fellow Wrestle Factory graduates No longer competing, of course, blaming everyone else but himself. He turned tail and ran.
This cat and mouse game, I feel like Kevin is personally trying to subvert what I put together here, as if the idea of competition and sportsmanship is a foreign concept. To get in the ring and wrestle.
He's out amongst the fans here. Listen, this is highly unorthodox, Mike. Oh, he's got a chair.
What's he doing? Get in the ring and wrestle, Mr. Condron. Bryce did the exact right thing there.
You know, for someone who's a killer, and someone talks a big game.
Gavin, get over here.
Oh, you saw that!
Oh, looky. Mr. Condron. They went briefly just behind the entrance rampway there. He came out with, it looked to me like a giant wrench.
It was that same wrench that he hit Eddie Kingston upside the head with back in December. The same wrench that he brought to the ring.
What is he doing?
I don't know what to make of this young man. Again, he was a young man with a lot of potential, a good head on his shoulders, and then just over the last couple months here.
Well, I must admit I am almost at a loss to mask my agitation here. This could have been a rather outstanding contest between a seasoned veteran and an up-and-comer, and I feel like the purpose of this has really been subverted due to Kevin Condron's attitude. The self-proclaimed killer Kevin Condron, who just now needed the aid of some tool he found backstage, and he jabbed Dasher Hatfield in the throat.
Right, again, and we had a great shot of that here, Mike. You know, hopefully you folks at home watching got a chance to see it as well. And that was, what is Condron doing? Is he choking him? He's continuing the assault on that throat. And again, he got him flush in the throat. That could damage his throat, crush a larynx. There could be some permanent damage here done to Dasher.
I don't know that we've seen a legal wrestling move from killer Kevin Condron.
And you see that? I don't think he was looking at you with that look, Mike. I think he was looking at... Oh, boy. I don't know what this kid's problem is.
Right? It's a wonderful opportunity he's got in front of him here. Yeah, you better not get Dasher's dander up, kid, because you're not going to like where that leads you.
You know, you mentioned about the sportsmanship, the fair play, what have you, that Dasher Hatfield brings to every match that he has. But at this point, Dasher Hatfield, I'm sure in his mind, has thrown all that out the window and is looking to take this kid's head off, and I don't blame him one bit.
Accelerating him now with the Irish whip is Dasher Hatfield, who briefly has the advantage back. Oh, he just got double thrust right to the throat. That's where we saw him strike earlier with that. It looked to me like a giant black wrench that he produced from backstage. Now a double thrust to the throat of Dasher Hatfield. Again, another illegal wrestling move here from a guy who can wrestle. This is Kevin Condron making the conscious choice not to not wrestle within the rules. And I don't know what sort of statement he's hoping to make here.
And I'll tell you, Mike, whatever statement he's attempting to make, he's sure got a few folks buying into whatever he's selling. But this young man, I think, is selling you a bill of goods that ain't going to get you too far in life. And again, you see that double thrust to the throat. Anytime that he feels that Dasher is gaining any sort of momentum, and now Dasher, using his experience, using his power, using his experience, putting Condron on the top rope.
What power. Great looking jackhammer from Dasher. That was all power to lift him from that angle out of the corner that way. The raw power of Dasher Hatfield on plain display. And what have you shown us so far? Your willingness to break the rules, Kevin? I'll tell you what, this guy, now something, show me something.
Well, again, he's showing that he can hang with Dasher Hatfield, but for how long are you going to be able to hang, you know, blow for blow, shot for shot, strike for strike, someone with someone like Dasher Hatfield? And you see Dasher still having some trouble regaining his breath here.
He's been hit twice in the throat, very hard. Whoa, what's he got? Look at the power again here. Oh, I thought he was looking for that Cyclone neck breaker of his. Whoa! Maybe the former Kid Cyclone took exception to that. Give credit where it's due there. Kevin Condron with a very effective wrestling move. This kid, he's got a lot going for him. Talented athlete. He can put it together in the ring. It's not like he doesn't know how to wrestle. It's not like he doesn't have some strength. It's not as if he doesn't have some agility to him. But I'd really like for him to showcase that instead of running his mouth. He's got something to say it in the ring.
He's got a horrible attitude is what he got. He's one of these guys that goes on Twitter, goes on Reddit, goes on whatever, makes a big stink about everything that's wrong in the world, but he contributes to just as much of it as anyone else. As you saw there, Bryce caught in a bad spot there, getting squished between the top turnbuckle. And there's that. We got a clear shot of it now.
Fans, this is the black wrench that we saw before. He somehow produced from. And this one of the oldest tricks. Oh, Bryce. No, Bryce. No, Condron got away with this before. And we talked about exactly this sort of thing, Bryce.
Again, Mike, you saw it, I saw it, the folks at home saw it, but we're not the referee in this contest, and you hear Dasher pleading his case.
Bryce Remsburg says, wrestle on.
Oh, look at that right back up to his...
Amazing! What an amazing recovery on the part of Killer Kevin Condron, who apparently was not actually... Oh, look at this. He's got him all locked up. No chance. And Kevin Condron is undone by his own shenanigans. I tell you what, you can disregard our traditions like this kid did. He voluntarily removed his own mask, but there's no skirting the rules, especially after what he pulled at a new start. Bryce Remsburg did the right thing in my book.
Hard pressed to disagree with you on that one, Mike.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for your winner, Dasher Hatfield.
Chikara fans, Kevin Condron trying to pull one over on Dasher Hatfield. Not this time. Senior official Bryce Remsburg making sure we tighten up these loopholes. And I've got right here the director of fun, Lightning, Mike Quackenbush, to talk about something that we have here in Chikara. They're called rules.
That's right. And we saw Kevin Condron exploit a gap in our system back at a new start in January. Just before the start of the card in Gibsonville, North Carolina, I was able to get together with the officials and talk about tightening up all these little gaps, these loopholes, to prevent the type of shenanigans that you just saw Kevin Condron trying to get away with. And that way we get more of a focus on competition and less of a focus on shenanigans.
And speaking of competitions, ladies and gentlemen, for the last 18 years, I've been the host of Chikara's Podcast-A-Go-Go. It has been a pleasure, it's been an honor. I've learned so much. But now at this time, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to be moving on to a place that's a little bit further from Chikara headquarters. So I will be passing on these honors to this man right here, your director of fun, Mike Quackenbush. And as is tradition, Mr. Quackenbush, I will pass you the Podcast-A-Go-Go.
Well, I think since you're moving out of Moonsault Manor here and taking all your belongings with you, I think the Podcast-A-Go-Go should go with you because I'm allergic.